Okay, what I'm going to go ahead and show you how to do here is animate this claw to have some nice motion. What I did before all this is I set everything up in groups, so I can quickly show you how I did that. What I did was I made the sphere, and then I made, everything, and I put it together, and I selected the whole thing, and I pressed Control G, and that made this group right here, the claw group. And then what I did is I wanted to move this insert point, this pivot point. Whoops. I want to move it about right there. About right there. So, okay. So that was easy. And then I went to these two. I held Shift, selected them both, and I hit Control G. So, and that made this leg. And I wanted to make sure that I put the pivot point here. And then I selected these guys, Control G, and that made this group. And I wanted to make sure I hit Insert, and I went to Top View and Side View, and I put the pivot point where it belongs. The way we rename the groups here, there's two ways. By the way, in order to get to this window, if it's not open, you have to go to Window, Hypergraph Scene Hierarchy, and there it is. Okay. If I make a mistake, I could simply middle mouse button. I'm holding down my mouse wheel, and I'm letting go. That'll take the group out. But if I click the mouse wheel again and drag over to the group and I let go, it'll go back in the group. So those are easy ways to move groups in and out of other groups, or move objects in and out of other objects. So I can do the same here. Middle mouse button, put it back where it belongs. Okay, it's pretty easy. Again, you just want to make sure you set up your pivot points. Okay, so now that we have that done, what we're going to do is we're going to set up one kind of smooth animation, and then we're going to play around with the graph editor a little bit, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. First thing you want to do is make sure you're on the claw group. And we're going to go to our side view. Well, actually, let's go to our front view. And let's go ahead and straighten this thing out. I want 100 frames, which is right here. And I wanted you to go by 2s. So if you want to go by like 10s, for example, you could type in 10, and you'll see that sorry, not there. Right here. Let's see, that's weird. Yeah, if you want to, this goes by, like, if you want to go by 10s, it'll show you the 10s, but whatever. We could just go 1 and, I don't know, 5. Or 1, whatever. That's fine, we can just do that. Okay, that works. Yeah, we can't, unfortunately, that doesn't work too good. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hit up to get the group if you clicked off of it. Or just click on the group right here. And we're going to make sure we're on frame 1 here. Let's go back to frame 1. And we're going to hit S. Okay, now we're going to say, let's have this movement take about, I don't know, 30 frames. So we're going to go ahead and move it over. And we're going to do this. And we're going to hit S. So the problem with this right now is there's really no speeding up or slowing down. It's all one speed. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and play around with the graph editor. So I want you to go to Window, Animation Editor, Graph Editor. Hit F, and this is our movement right here. Our movement specifically is the movement in the, let's see, I think it's X direction. It's the red. So red tells me it's X. So over here I could just click Translate X, and there it is. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to go to here. We might not even have to do that. Let's highlight both of these and go to Keys, Break Tangents. And we're going to highlight this, and we're going to middle mouse button. We're going to go drag it up right here. If you hit F, it'll focus. Nice for you. Okay? You want to make sure this one's flat. Then we're going to go to the bottom. We're going to take this, and we're going to middle mouse button it out like that. Just like that. So what happens is, this right here, it'll go slow and then fast. and then it'll start to slow down a little bit here. Okay, so the steeper it is, that's pretty steep, the faster it'll go. So let's see how this looks. It's pretty good. That looks pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to move it over. Let's see here. We're going to put this right around here, and we're just going to hit, S. And I actually want this area to be a little bit flatter. I'm going to take this one and flatten it out like that. And I want this area to slow down like that. So this extra keyframe is going to help me slow it down a little. Right there. And let's just make sure that these are both even. So if we click on here, you see that says -39. I'm going to hit right click, Control C. Control C. Now I'm going to go to this one and hit Control V and then hit enter. Now they're even. I'm going to highlight both of these guys and I'm just going to click that to make sure they're nice and even. So now we'll notice a little bit of a slowdown. Let's see how that looks. That's good. Now our rotation looks a little weird. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on the group again. And it's rotating in the, let's see here. It's rotating in the blue. So the blue is Z. And there it is. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to highlight all the keys. And we're going to keys break tangents. We're going to increase that. So we'll ease that in. And we're going to bring this up a little. Let's see here. Hit F to focus everything. Okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and do that. And let's highlight all that, flatten it out. Okay, this is good. This is what we want to do. All right, like that. This is what we should have done with the other one. So it's just basically going to accelerate. And then here it's kind of flatten itself out. Maybe I should move this down a little bit. There we go. Okay, let's move that up. And that's good. Move that up just a hair. Let's just make sure they're equal. That's I'm going to hit Control C here. I probably actually don't even need this one here. I'm just going to delete it. I'm just going to go here and I'm going to go ahead and bring this down a bit. Just like that. So let's see what our rotation looks like now. Looks good. Okay. So now that we have all that, we're just going to do the rest by hand. Motion looks good. We're going to go ahead and we're at 30 here. So when it stops, we're going to swing this thing over. I'm just going to hit S. Then I'm going to swing it this way. Hit S. Go 2 frames over. And I'm going to go 1 frame over. So let's see what this looks like. Pretty good. I'm going to get rid of one of the motions. I'm going to modify one thing. I am going to go ahead and get rid of all that work I did here. I'm actually going to get rid of these. Don't like them. Let's see how that looks. That's better. Good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is this. We're going to go ahead and move this whole thing down and hit S. Let's just go ahead and move the ball over. Okay, I'm going to make the ball a little bit smaller. And let's move it up just a bit. Okay, and hit S. So this is what we'll have now. Okay, and so now what we need to do is we need to select each one of these groups. Just hit up to get each group. Click S. Hit up, click S. And hit up and click S. So that'll key it where it is. Now we're going to have it open. So we always have to key it closed. And now we're going to move it over a couple of frames. And we're just going to go ahead and hit up to get the group. And we're just going to rotate it open, just like that. Hit up to get the group. Okay, and then hit up to get the group. Now what I didn't do is I have to go back and hit up and hit S. Or I could just simply use my hypergraph window and go to my leg 3, hit S, go to my leg 1, hit S, my leg 2, hit S. Leg 1, make sure your mouse is there when you hit S. So let's see what this looks like. Okay, so now we're going to lower the ball a little bit more. We're almost done with the animation. Okay, that's good. Hit S. Okay, what I'm going to do is before I lower the ball, I'm actually going to get rid of this keyframe I just made. So I have this. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and what I forgot to do is key the ball right here. So click on it and hit S. Now move it over a couple of frames and then move it down and hit S. So it's going to open and then move down. Don't forget to do that. That's important. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to each leg. I could hold Control or Shift rather. I'm going to go over here and click S. So I'm going to key it there. Again, I'm going to key them the way they are. Now I'm going to move over a couple of frames. I'm going to take the leg, and I'm going to go ahead and close it. Take this leg, close it. Again, not the greatest animation in the world, but that's okay. And then what I do is hit Shift and hit Shift, go to here, hit S. So let's see how this looks so far. Okay, that's good. The only thing we have to do now is we're just going to go back real quick. So we're just going to go ahead and highlight the claw, hit S. Okay, move it over a few frames. Bring it up, hit S. And then we're going to go over here. Now I want you on your own to do the anticipation. I'm not doing that here. But you know, it just looks kind of okay, so probably what you want to do is okay, now we just have to move the ball with the handle. So what we have to do is this, move this up. We have to take the ball and move it up, hit S. Then move it over, take the ball. Remember, we forgot to key the ball down here first, so do that. Just go ahead and delete this key at 72. Okay. So a little funky there, but we'll fix it. Okay, there we go. So see how the ball is following? And there you go. And we're just going to move it over. Like here it gets a little weird, so you might want to fix it. Okay, just about done. And this ends it. So just